Hello, welcome to Misinformed, the podcast for movie reviews. I'm Alex Siegel, notorious ladies' man and sire to the future generation of Superman.
Hi, I'm Alex, Hedgehog savior and creator of blue art. You know, like that guy Picasso.
Today we're reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2020, the latest video game movie. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see this movie. I had to coat my tennis shoes in tungsten instead.
Unfortunately, I didn't see it either because I was busy painting all my hated stuffed animals blue so that I might make a quick buck on unsavory online auction sites.
Well, let's press on with the review anyway. Can I please have a synopsis?
Sonic the Hedgehog is a live-action adventure comedy based on the global blockbuster video game franchise from Sega that centers on the infamously brash, bright blue hedgehog. The film follows the misadventures of Sonic as he navigates the complexities of life on Earth with his newfound human best friend, Tom Wachowski, played by James Marsden. Sonic and Tom join forces to try and stop the villainous Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, from capturing Sonic and using his immense powers for world domination. Wow. World domination.
I love this movie. It was a heart-wrenching tale of a lonely alien just trying to survive on the scary planet we call Earth. Sonic represents all of us, because aren't we all secretly covered with blue fur in places we don't like to talk about? The gold rings represent holes in our souls, which must be filled with the light of friendship and love. Sonic's speed is like our race through existence, which seems to end all too quickly. I'll never forget the life-changing philosophies expressed in this movie. What did you think of it?
It was boring. Sonic has a limited number of tricks in his bags, and they're repeated over and over and over and over and over. You know, like kinda like in a video game. The jokes are old and warmed up. The plot is a series of warmed up tropes. The friendship is sappy and more tropes. And the love interest is a dog.
My favorite line in the movie was, "I need heat shielding on my underwear." What was your favorite line?
You are going to throw away your life for this little alien? And Sobby was, he's my friend. Oh, I was so crying in that scene.
Well, let's get right into the plot. In this movie, Sonic goes faster and faster as the story progresses. Eventually, he goes faster than light and travels back in time. Then he loops around and around through time, eventually creating a Groundhog Day, Hedgehog Day movie.
2 words, world domination. Now you know how it goes.
Well, speaking of domination, the military and Dr. Robotnik go crazy with the high-tech weapons. Laser cannons, guided space missiles, nanobot ooze, and even extra-dimensional acid bombs. My disbelief suspenders were definitely stretched.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog is a Japanese video game series where an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog battles the evil Dr. Eggman, a mad scientist. The game has been around for 27 years. So, how many games do you think there are?
Oh, at least a half a dozen.
They say that there's over 80, but I tell you a secret. There is really only one game, remade and remade and remade forever.
It does seem a bit repetitive when you play it. Let's talk about the cast. Jim Carrey plays Dr. Robotnik, but he is most famous for playing Lloyd Christmas in the Dumb and Dumber franchise. There was sublime poetry in that performance. What did you think of the cast?
Well, Jim Carrey at least is funny. The rest of the movie is not. In particular, James Marsden is not funny. Did you know he played Cyclops in the first X-Men movie? That wasn't funny either.
True, he was very serious in that performance. What did you think of the sound?
The music. I found it so refreshing that whenever Sonic was on the screen, which was a lot, they played the original Sonic game music by Masako Nakamura. He is also, by the way, the bass player of Dreams Come True, or Dorikamu, a famous J-pop band that has been in the game since 1988. Nakamura composes much of the catalog of Dreams Come True and arranges almost all of it. They all sound like Sonic the Hedgehog. Their shows are quite spectacular, and you can find them on YouTube.
Well, I would sing the theme music, except I wouldn't dare offend the listeners with that. Did you notice that in an effort to make the soundtrack sound faster, they mixed in noises from garbage disposals, jet engines, Gatling guns, and even vinyl records played at 1,000 RPM.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get that all the time, every time Sonic crashes into something. So you can just kind of perpetuate that through the whole soundtrack. I thought it was kind of cute.
It was cute, although it did grate the ears at times.
You were not wearing earplugs for this movie?
I was wearing a crash helmet.
I recommend earplugs to anybody who's going to see this movie.
I want to talk about the costumes. I can't say enough about Dr. Robotnik's red cloak. It was magnificent, spectacular, awe-inspiring. Like mink fur dipped in blood, I was aghast and envious at the same time.
On the other hand, Sonic doesn't wear clothes, so that was cheap. Actually, he wears shoes. They were cheap too.
Yeah, he must go through a lot of shoes. Did you catch the product placement? My favorite was Asbestos Athlete's Foot Powder.
I just saw the blue hair dye because everyone wants a Sonic mop now.
Oh, that reminds me, I want to talk about the special effects. Sonic's blue hair was the special effects masterpiece of the movie. Each strand was represented by 1,000,000 polygons for the ultimate in detailed realism.
And each one of them was animated individually.
What did you think of the big twist at the end?
Sonic stays on Earth, fathers many blue fur children, and the world was never the same. Then Sega sued him, and the world really wasn't the same anymore.
My big twist was a little different. Sonic brings an alien parasite to Earth embedded in his fur, which wipes out the human race.
Oh, well, you did have to mention that, did you?
It's true. I should have warned a spoiler alert on that one.
Yeah, I mean, really, that was too big to spoil.
What was the moral that you took away from the movie?
I just have a recommendation. Play the game, play all of the games as a history lesson in game evolution, and skip this movie.
Well, for me, the message was clear. If you run fast enough, you can run away from any problem you have. Thank you. This has been Misinformed, the podcast for movie reviews. Now we're going to go see the movie. Goodbye.